Welcome back to the channel. World Coins master this incredible journey through the fascinating world of United States coins, where history, mystery, and hidden fortune come together in one small object many people carry in their pockets every day. In this video, we're diving deep into one very special coin that has captured the attention of collectors, numismatists, and investors across the globe, the 1968 Washington quarter dollar. At first glance, it may look like an ordinary coin worth just 25 cents. But under closer inspection and with the right combination of rare minting errors, anomalies, and historical context, this seemingly simple quarter could be worth a staggering $21 million. That's right, $21 million. And today, we'll uncover why. The story of the 1968 Washington quarter begins at a unique crossroads in American numismatic history. The late 1960s was a time of significant transformation for U.S. coinage. Just a few years earlier, in 1965, the United States Mint removed silver from circulating dimes and quarters due to rising silver prices and changing economic realities. By 1968, quarters were being struck with a clad composition, consisting of a copper core sandwiched between layers of copper nickel. This marked a major shift from the earlier 90% silver content quarters, and this change alone set the stage for some unusual minting outcomes during this transitional era. Among the most captivating reasons the 1968 Washington quarter can command a value of $21 million is the potential for highly rare minting errors. Error coins are not just accidents, they're treasures born from brief moments when the immense machinery and precision of the U.S. Mint veers slightly off course. The types of errors that could catapult a coin's value to millions are varied and fascinating. Double dies, off-center strikes, missing clad layers, transitional errors, wrong planchet strikes, broad strikes, clipped planchets, and misplaced mint marks are just some of the types of mistakes that can drastically increase a coin's worth. One of the most highly prized types of errors is the double die, which occurs when a coin is struck by a die that has the design impressed on it more than once, but in slightly different positions. This creates the appearance of doubled features, especially on the coin's inscriptions or portraits. On a 1968 Washington quarter, a double die obverse showing clear doubling on the words, Liberty, or In God We Trust, would immediately make it a sought-after rarity. If this doubling is strong and visible to the naked eye, and the coin is otherwise in excellent condition, it can fetch astronomical prices at auction. Another major contributor to the possible $21 million valuation is the wrong planchet error. This happens when a coin is struck on a blank that was intended for a different denomination, or even a coin from another country. For example, if a 1968 quarter was mistakenly struck on a 90% silver planchet intended for a pre-1965 quarter or on a foreign coin blank, this error could result in a one-of-a-kind specimen. Considering the strict quality control at the U.S. Mint, such an error is extraordinarily rare and commands a massive premium from collectors. Equally valuable is the transitional error. During years when changes in coin compositions or designs were made, there was sometimes a brief overlap in the minting process. In 1968, even though the official quarter composition had been changed to copper-nickel clad, there is the possibility that a few leftover silver planchets from previous years could have been accidentally used. A 1968 quarter struck on a silver planchet would be a major anomaly, and if authenticated by a reputable grading service like PCGS or NGC, could potentially become one of the most valuable modern coins ever discovered. One more compelling factor is the mint mark and its peculiarities. In 1968, the Denver Mint and San Francisco Mint both produced Washington quarters, but the Philadelphia Mint did not use a mint mark. If a quarter from 1968 features a misplaced mint mark, such as AD or S in the wrong location or even struck over another mint mark, it can become a high-value anomaly. Additionally, RPMs, repunched mint marks, are another area of intrigue. These occur when the mint mark is punched into the die more than once in slightly different locations, creating a doubled appearance. Collectors seek these out, especially when they're clearly visible without magnification. Condition, or grade, is another crucial element. A coin with any of the above errors but in a circulated, worn-down state might fetch hundreds or thousands. But when the same coin appears in uncirculated, high mint-state condition, especially MS-67 or MS-68, it enters a new stratosphere of value. Add in the factors of rarity and desirability, and the numbers rise rapidly. Pristine examples of 1968 quarters with known errors have previously sold for tens of thousands. If a unique combination of errors is discovered on a high-grade coin, it can ignite bidding wars among elite collectors and institutions, pushing the final price into the millions. What adds a thrilling layer to the story is the possibility that such a coin may still be out there, undiscovered. Coins like these often slip through the cracks of daily commerce, unnoticed by the average person. They may be sitting in old coin jars, handed down in family heirlooms, tucked away in forgotten drawers, or sold unknowingly at flea markets and garage sales. This tantalizing possibility fuels the dreams of treasure hunters and collectors alike. The allure of finding a coin that can change one's financial destiny is what makes this hobby so compelling. The intrigue doesn't stop there. Some 1968 quarters have been found with broad strikes, where the retaining collar that shapes the coin during striking fails, allowing the metal to spread outward. This error results in a misshapen coin, often with missing or distorted rims. Though they may look damaged to the untrained eye, broad-struck coins are valuable when authenticated. Add this to other anomalies like off-center strikes, where the coin's design is noticeably shifted, and the potential for value continues to climb. Imagine a 1968 quarter that combines several of these factors: a double die obverse, struck on a silver planchet, with a misplaced mint mark, and preserved in MS-68 condition. Such a coin would be utterly unique. In the world of numismatics, the more unique and rare a coin is, the higher its value can go. It's this principle that drives auction houses, private collectors, and museums to compete for these treasures. When multiple rare errors converge on a single specimen, its value can skyrocket into the multi-million-dollar range, and in one hypothetical but realistic scenario, as much as $21 million. Another underappreciated area that could affect value is the coin's toning. Natural toning occurs when a coin's surface changes color due to exposure to air and moisture over time. While some toning can reduce a coin's appeal, other types, like rainbow toning or vibrant hues, can significantly enhance its desirability. A naturally toned 1968 quarter with brilliant colors and minting errors can become a masterpiece in the eyes of elite collectors, further increasing its price. Authentication and certification are critical in verifying these types of coins. Reputable grading companies play an essential role in the coin's journey from pocket change to million-dollar collectible. These organizations assess every detail: the authenticity of the error, the coin's grade, its strike, luster, and eye appeal. A slabbed coin from PCGS or NGC with a rare error and a top-tier grade becomes an official record in the numismatic world and opens the doors to premier auctions and private sales. Part of what makes the 1968 Washington quarter particularly interesting is that it's from a relatively modern era, meaning it's still possible to find examples in circulation or in older private collections. Many high-value coins from the 18th and 19th centuries are already locked away in museums or collections. But coins from the late 20th century are often still in everyday hands. This coin, with the right errors and condition, represents one of the last great American coin treasure hunts still in play. In addition to the known errors, there's always the potential for undiscovered varieties. Die varieties occur when small changes or damages happen to the die used to strike coins. These could include die cracks, cuds, or unique design anomalies. When these are discovered and cataloged, they often gain nicknames or reference numbers, increasing their collectible appeal. If a previously unknown die variety were found on a 1968 quarter, especially if it was unique, it could ignite intense demand and propel the coin's value into the upper millions. Moreover, the story of a coin can also increase its value. If a particular coin has a history, say, it was once part of a famous collection or found under extraordinary circumstances, it adds to its mystique and value. Numismatic history is full of coins whose tales made headlines, from being discovered in a shipwreck to appearing in a child's piggy bank. A 1968 quarter with a compelling backstory, verified provenance, and multiple rare features could easily command multi-million-dollar valuations. All of this contributes to why a 1968 Washington quarter dollar can be worth $21 million. The convergence of minting errors, material anomalies, mint mark mistakes, high-grade preservation, authentication, market demand, unique aesthetic features, and storytelling potential make such a valuation plausible. Every detail matters. Even something as small as the positioning of a single letter or the sheen of the coin's surface can influence its desirability among serious collectors. For numismatists and enthusiasts alike, coins like the 1968 Washington quarter. Today's video, we dive deep into one of the most intriguing stories in American numismatic history, a 1969 D Washington quarter dollar that has captured the attention of the coin collecting community and beyond. This seemingly ordinary coin, which was once worth just 25 cents, is now valued at an astronomical $19 million. How could a simple quarter minted over 5 decades ago reach such an extraordinary value? The answer lies in a unique blend of minting errors, production anomalies, mint mark issues, and the rare conditions under which it was discovered and preserved. Buckle up as we unpack the extraordinary journey of the 1969 D Washington quarter and examine every nuance that contributes to its unbelievable worth in today's market. To begin understanding the incredible value of this coin, we first need to step back in time and consider the context of its production. The 1969 D Washington quarter was minted at the Denver Mint, denoted by the D Mint mark. At the time, millions of these coins were produced for everyday use. They were part of a circulating coinage system that followed the designs laid out decades prior. The Washington quarter had been introduced in 1932 to honor the 200th anniversary of George Washington's birth. By 1969, it had already become a standard fixture in American pockets, cash registers, and vending machines. However, not all 1969 D quarters were created equal. One of the first points that collectors noticed about the rare 1969 D quarter is its unusual die alignment and strike characteristics. Normally, the dies used to stamp the design onto coins are carefully aligned and monitored for precision. However, the rare examples of this coin show signs of die doubling, also known as a doubled die error. This occurs when the die itself has a doubled image, which then gets transferred onto the planchet during the minting process. Doubling can be observed in the motto, "In God We Trust," the word, "Liberty," and the date, 1969. This doubling is sharp, clear, and distinctly visible under magnification, far beyond simple machine doubling or damage from wear. The doubling alone makes these coins an exciting discovery for any collector. But what propels this particular 1969 D quarter into the multimillion-dollar realm is a combination of multiple rare errors. Along with the doubled die, some of the most valuable specimens display a striking anomaly in the mint mark. Normally, the mint mark is applied to the working die using a hand punch before 1980. This means it was not part of the master hub and could be positioned slightly differently across coins from the same year and mint. On some 1969 D quarters, the mint mark appears to be repunched or shows signs of misalignment and misplacement. In a few known examples, the D is punched over a faint or partial S, suggesting the possibility of a rare overmint mark error. These types of anomalies are incredibly rare and are highly sought after due to their unusual nature and the insight they provide into minting practices. Another extraordinary feature contributing to the coin's rarity is the composition and planchet characteristics. While most quarters of this period were composed of a clad combination of copper and nickel, some experts suggest the possibility of experimental planchets being used during transitional periods. It is speculated that a very limited number of 1969 D quarters may have been struck on silver planchets, either intentionally as test strikes or unintentionally due to leftover blanks. Coins struck on wrong planchets typically have an incorrect weight and metallic luster that distinguishes them from standard issues. When combined with die doubling and mint mark anomalies, such a composition error magnifies the rarity tenfold. Aside from technical minting errors, the condition of surviving examples plays a critical role in determining their value. Coins are graded on a scale from 1 to 70, with 70 being a perfect specimen free of any blemishes, scratches, or wear. For a coin like the 1969 D quarter to command a value of $19 million, it must exist in an extraordinarily high grade, ideally in mint state condition. Such coins often feature original mint luster, razor-sharp details, and surfaces unmarred by handling or circulation. The fewer the surviving specimens in top grade, the more valuable each becomes. It is believed that less than a handful of these rare 1969 D era quarters exist in such elite condition. Provenance is another factor that has influenced the astronomical valuation of this coin. Provenance refers to the documented history of a coin's ownership and discovery. Coins with well-documented origins, especially those that were part of major collections or found in historical hoards, often command higher premiums. In the case of the 1969 D Washington quarter, at least one of the known examples was discovered in a roll of quarters by a hobbyist coin collector. The story of its humble discovery, followed by authentication from top grading services like PCGS or NGC, helped catapult the coin into legendary status. Once authenticated, it entered private auctions and ultimately landed in a high-end collection, with bidding driving its value into the multi-million-dollar territory. Media coverage and public fascination also play significant roles in boosting a coin's value. When a mainstream news outlet or a major auction house covers a story about a seemingly ordinary coin selling for millions, public interest surges. This increased demand causes prices to skyrocket, especially when the supply of known examples is extremely limited. The 1969 Washington quarter is no exception. Once news of its existence hit numismatic circles and financial media outlets, it was widely discussed, analyzed, and admired. It became a symbol of hidden wealth, proof that unimaginable treasures can sometimes be found in everyday change. Let's take a deeper look into some of the technical aspects behind these errors. A doubled die, for instance, occurs during the hubbing process when a working die receives multiple impressions that are slightly misaligned. This creates a doubling effect that is not caused by wear or mechanical error, but rather a flaw in the die creation itself. In the case of the 1969 quarter, the doubling is prominent and affects major design elements on the obverse. This type of error differs significantly from common doubling found on worn coins, where the image might appear fuzzy due to mechanical issues like die deterioration or strike doubling. True doubled dies are highly collectible and well documented across various coin types, but only a few such dramatic examples exist on Washington quarters. Now, let's consider the implications of a repunched mint mark. Repunched mint marks, RPMs, occur when the initial impression of a mint mark is deemed unsatisfactory, and a second or third punch is applied. If these impressions are not perfectly aligned, they create a shadow effect or even reveal parts of multiple mint marks overlapping. The 1969 quarter features a repunched D that appears misaligned or layered, which adds to its desirability. In rare cases, this repunching reveals traces of a different letter, such as an S under the D, which points toward the use of reused dies or unexpected transitions during minting. Such instances are exceedingly rare and make the coin an extraordinary anomaly. The transition from silver to clad coinage in the 1960s further complicates the story. By 1965, the U.S. Mint had phased out the use of 90% silver in quarters due to rising silver prices. However, mistakes during the transition period sometimes resulted in silver blanks being used years later. If any 1969 quarters were struck on leftover silver planchets, those coins would not only be heavier but also have a different ring when dropped and show distinct color differences compared to copper-nickel clad coins. These anomalies, if present and verified, would add yet another layer of rarity and value to the coin. What's more, the story of this coin isn't just about errors and grading, it's also about the passion and knowledge of collectors who recognize something extraordinary. Many of the greatest numismatic discoveries were not made by professionals, but by dedicated hobbyists who took the time to examine their change, research details, and seek expert opinions. The 1969 quarter's incredible valuation would not have been possible without the tireless efforts of individuals who pursued authenticity through third-party grading services and numismatic experts. It's a testament to the importance of curiosity, diligence, and perseverance in the world of coin collecting. Auction results for rare coins often reflect both their scarcity and their public appeal. When a rare coin like the 1969 quarter appears at a major auction, the buzz it generates can lead to frenzied bidding wars among collectors, dealers, and investors. This particular coin's journey through auctions has been marked by unprecedented demand. Even conservative initial estimates were blown away as bidding escalated, sometimes in six-figure increments, leading to a final hammer price in the $19 million range. This represents not only the monetary value of the coin but also its cultural and historical significance. The 1969 Washington quarter has also influenced how collectors view other coins from the era. Its discovery prompted increased scrutiny of similar quarters from nearby years, 1968, 1970, and even earlier 1960s issues. Coin enthusiasts began examining their collections for comparable errors, including doubled dies, repunched mint marks, and planchet anomalies. This has led to the discovery of several other valuable coins, though none as monumental in value as the 1969-D. As we reflect on this remarkable coin, we're reminded that its value isn't just in metal, grade, or error. It represents a perfect,